Yo, what's up guys? Patch 13.23 is right around the corner and we need to check this out. There's some very interesting stuff here. Let's jump right into it. So obviously we don't have too much when it comes to actual champion changes here. We're going to see not too many buffs and nerfs, but the big thing I want to talk about is turret gold, which we're going to get to last because it's the biggest of them all. And it's the main thing I really want to talk about, to be honest. So we're going to look at champion buffs. Obviously I don't really, get into like ADCs, mages, supports, whatever. So we see the Draven buff, more of a quality of life thing. His R is going to return to him after he dies. Janna's getting a small little buff, which I like Janna, so I like having Janna's on my team. So I like seeing the Janna buff. Vel'Koz is getting a buff, which is kind of necessary because I'm pretty sure the champ was sitting at like a 45% win rate. And champ's just like, it's just kind of out of date, unfortunately, and he does need a little bit of help. Maybe even a rework would be good for Vel'Koz. Two big ones here is going to be the Riven and Trundle. Now, the Trundle one's not that big, but the Trundle one's kind of going to work into the turret gold, so you can kind of put these two and two together, right? So Trundle's just getting a little bit of AD growth. His Q mana cost is going down, so we don't really see Trundle that much, to be honest. I don't see him that much in the jungle anymore or in top lane. He was much more popular in the past, but not as much anymore. Riven buffs are a little crazy. Q damage is going to be going up, so we're going to see not the actual spell damage by itself, but the scaling from AD is going up by 5% on the Q, and then the R bonus AD is going up by 5%. This doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is a lot. It's a pretty decent sized buff, and I know there was a huge thing going on Reddit, got really popular. A lot of rioters responded to it about Riven being too difficult, so not a lot of people played Riven because she was too difficult to play. You got to know how to fast Q, animation cancel, so on and so forth, whatever. It kind of seems like this buff might just be something to help the player base out, be like, here, she's more accessible now. You can play her now because, she's getting this little buff. But I really think that they're more concerned about how Riven's going to do in the next season. I think they're really worried about a lot of top laners just because I feel like they're going to get rid of a lot of items. I don't think they like Gordringer. Well, they don't like Gordringer. They've said that before. So that makes me think they don't like Stridebreaker. They don't like Divine Sunderer. The only real top lane mythic that they like is, Triforce for fighters and duelists. So they're probably going to be getting rid of a lot of mythics that fighters and duelists use in the top lane, so I think they're really worried about champions like that. So they do mention right here that Riven buffs, it's to improve her general power level without committing her long-term shape one way or the other. Since she's very dependent on items, we're waiting to see how the item updates affect her. Changes more oriented in buffing her spells. So I just think this is more of a preemptive buff. I think it's unnecessary. I don't think Riven is weak, fair to say. I think Riven is just really only played by OTPs, and OTPs have put in the time to learn those mechanics on the champion. I think that a lot of Riven OTPs are pretty good at the champion. So I think this is just a way to make her more accessible. I think it kind of goes with that whole Reddit post and got real popular and everybody was talking about it. So when we look at the champion nerfs, we're going to see Briar getting nerfed, which is kind of, I don't really get that one. Briar hasn't really been great in higher elos, maybe in lower elos she's really good. I haven't really looked at the stats on anything, but Briar is getting another nerf, which she just got nerfed, and she got nerfed recently before that as well. So this is like 3 nerfs in like a month span, like a month and a half. So she's just getting gutted. I mean, Briar is becoming basically unplayable. I think this nerf is going to hurt her a lot, and I don't think we're going to see much Briar anymore, to be completely honest. The Fury getting nerfed, the Fury is just a really snowball champion that scales really well. So I don't really see Nefuries going off too much. But once again, I think snowball champions like Briar and Nefuri definitely run like lower elos, when you're talking like gold, silver. If they get ahead, it's pretty hard to stop them. So it's very understandable. I'm sure these champions are just snowballing their way through and dropping 20-30 kills a game, so it does make sense. J4, a little bit of a nerf. That Q cooldown, I don't think you're really going to notice it. 10 to 6 from 10 to 8. I mean, it's the cooldown. I don't think you're really going to notice it too much, especially with his most popular build being Gordrinker and Spear of Shojin. He has so much ability haste anyways that, it's kind of whatever. Ziggs getting a little bit of a nerf. Now, Ziggs is pretty crazy for an AP carry. He's got so much wave clear, big damage, scales really well. So I do think that Ziggs needed a little nerf, so that's fine. Cassante, finally, dude. Cassante has been insane lately. Oh my gosh. So when they reworked Cassante, they basically took away his skill expression. They made him less creative and unique. You couldn't chain CC anymore. They made him easier to play. You couldn't EW tap. You have to wait for your W now. So they basically made the champion a lot easier to play. And when they did that, it allowed a lot more players to be able to play the champion. And I think we're seeing just how strong Cassante is now. I play Fiora and Gwen only, and those are two champions that do really well in the Cassante. And I swear, even if he gets like one lucky kill, we lose a team fight or something, he gets a few kills, that champion is so strong. It is crazy. So all this, wonderful. We're getting the mana increase. Yes, this is really good. Base damage getting reduced. That's great. E-shield getting reduced. I mean, all this is good. I do think Cassante needs nerfed, and I think this is a decent enough nerf where he can still be really good, but not just be like the best top laner. Like Cassante is the best top laner by a long shot. I mean, he just like, you know, he takes your ADC, throws them over a wall, they're out of the team fight, then they're dead, then Cassante flanks the team fight after killing your ADC. The champion is nuts. He's just crazy. So I'm really happy to see a nerf for him. The big thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is the turret gold, and what we see here, turret gold, tier 2 turret gold is from plus 125 local gold, minus 125 local gold. So this is very vague. T3 turret gold, 325 local to minus 125 global. This is very vague. So we went and found this. So this is another tweet that is more in depth. So we can see like mid-inner turret change from 300 local, 50 global to 425 local, 25 global, so on and so forth. And then just for you guys, I went ahead and just put it into a little notepad so we can look at it together. So this is what it looks like right now. We've got the current gold for the side lanes here. So this is tower 1, or these are the turret plates, 625, and this is 400 for first tower. So basically this is what we're looking at. Max tower gold. Currently, max tower gold all the way through, if you were to go from 10 minutes into the game, so you still had turret plates, and you got all the turret plates, you got first tower, second tower, and then inhib tower as a top laner, and you did all that in a side lane, your maximum gold would be 1775. Now, if it's not the first tower, you're going to lose 150 gold, and you're going to get 250 instead of the 400, which would make 1625 your maximum gold. Now, mid lane turrets are a little bit worse because they don't get the 550 for the 2 tier. So mid lane towers, we're going to see 625 for the 5 turret plates, 400 if it's first tower, 250 if not. So basically max gold that you can get from mid lane, if you were to get all 3 towers in a row, would be 1525. And then it would be 1375 for all the turrets mid lane if you did not get the first tower gold. Now on this next patch that's coming up, patch 1323, we're seeing a big increase. So this just makes it a lot more easy to understand, right? So 625 for the 5 turret plates, we get the 400 for first tower, 250 if not. Second tower is worth 675 local, 25 global, 700 gold right there. And now this is the big change, is that the third tower, look at this, used to be 50 gold for local, 50 for global. Now it's 375 and 25. So your max gold is going all the way up to 2175 gold. 2175 gold. What is the question? That is a 400 gold increase here. This is huge. It's still 2000 if it's not the first tower. Mid lane is getting changed as well, so we can compare these. We got 625 for 5 tower plates, 250 plus 50, obviously 400 if it's first. Inner tower is going to be 425 plus 25 global, and then inhib tower is 375 plus 25, making the maximum gold if it's first turret 1925, and if it's not first turret 1775. Yo guys, Future Brennan here, coming in real quick. I was streaming today and somebody brought up the fact that the changes with the turret gold is really just adding the gold back from when they nerfed the turret plates and spreading it out, but that's not actually the case. So currently tower plates are 125 gold each, right? And we times that by 5, we get 625. Before the nerf, it was 175, which makes it 875. So it's 875 total, and it's 625 now. But even before the nerf, even when the tower plates were 175, max gold was still 2025. It's still 2025 gold. So just keep that in mind, because the new max gold is 2175. It is still getting a gold increase of 150 from maximum gold potential that you can get from all 5 turret plates and all the towers. So not only are they reverting the changes of making split pushing and tower plates less effective, but they are doubling down and making split pushing even more gold efficient, even more effective, even stronger. So just want to throw that out there. This is big. This is crazy for split pushers. I just want to mention that this is like, it might not seem like that much, but imagine the value of like Rift Herald. If I was Fiora and I was super ahead and I just soloed the Rift Herald by myself at like 12 minutes because I had a lead, and then I was able to just run it down top lane. This isn't even to mention like the CS you're going to get while you're pushing those towers. Not going to mention the CS, the XP, none of that. This is just straight up 2200 gold if I was to get those 3 towers. And then once I get those 3 towers, I just go split bot lane. And then I do the same thing and get another 2025 gold. I mean, this is crazy. This is so much gold. Let me just go ahead and say this. Start practicing Triforce. Start using Demolish. I mean, like, those are now S tier, S plus tier. Triforce, S plus tier. Hullbreaker, S plus tier. Demolish as a rune, S plus tier. Start split pushing. Split pushing is once again the meta. It's already been the meta, but now they're just like, they're doubling down. split pushing. They said top lane has no impact. I tell you what, if you have, you know, an extra 2,200 gold from the rest of the enemy, you're going to be useful. You're going to be useful. So split pushing is now S+ tier once again. It was already S tier. Let's make it S+++, God tier, Z tier, whatever you want to call it. Start practicing your Triforce builds. Start practicing with Demolish, and start grabbing Hullbreaker every game, because it's time to split push our way to victory and print out some LP. Thank you guys so much for watching. Patch 13.23 right around the corner. It's time to split push our way to some victories. Hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, peace out. Love ya. Bye bye.